Hello, the Silver Gauntlets, and welcome to the second game between jaxstronomy and Pyra. The winner of this round will go on to face the loser of the winners bracket, but right now Jax is 1-0 up, and if they win, they move on. If Pyra wins, we go to game 3. To take us through the action today, we have the amazing Ronan and the ever so sweetie SadieSweet. Yes, English.
Good. That was good. That was good. We can workshop it a little bit.
Yeah, it's close enough. I had it in my head.
And that's what mattered. I felt it in my heart. Welcome everyone. I am so excited to be back commentating Triforce Blitz. I have been waiting for this mode all year. Ronan, are you hyped?
I am super hyped, especially for this match. It's always nice, to have a really high intensity match to kind of close out your evening or wake you up in the morning, depending on where everybody is. So this looks like it's going to be a really good race.
Yeah. I've been following Jax's running for a while. Jax is a seasoned runner, like really good at logic. Just absolutely incredible at figuring out where something is, what the logic's telling them. I haven't seen a lot of Pierre, so I'm excited to see this race with them.
Yeah, absolutely. They've got their their best times down there at the bottom, and it may seem like there's a large gap. Obviously, hour 13 to 57 minutes, but especially in a format like this, even a large time gap like that, that's a lot closer than it may initially appear at first.
Yeah, especially when we have those fun over 20 step counts.
Those are the best. I remember when during the first season I fell into the camp of lower path counts was better, and then as I got into playing a lot more Blitz, I started to realize that no, I think I kind of prefer some of those higher ones. So it looks like we're
Yeah.
getting ready to get started, and it looks like we are starting with the Goron Ruby and the Song of Time. That's gross.
Uh, there are better things we could have. There are probably worse.
Randobot really decided to not give our runners any. There is zero help. Like, no medallion for an extra song. Song of Time doesn't really give you anything. It doesn't really give you a direction to
No.
go when you start off. So,
Not at the start of the game, not at all.
so I
Yeah, it's a
imagine.
nasty.
I imagine we're probably going to see our runners start with what the what's essentially going to has become our base routing.
But a waistcoat
The greatest storyteller always had the perfect
But
story
before all
whenever
that,
you needed to hear it.
folks,
Have-
we are going to get some
Adventure
excellent
that
ad
could
break.
stir the weariest soul.
So
Yeah.
the feed didn't
Or even
update and they were
move you
behind.
to
So you're going to get a lot of ads, and I apologize.
But surely, a
I did catch that
storyteller
Dongo's
so great
Cavern
must
is
be
on the path
just another
of
story,
courage,
right?
so at least there's that.
Awesome. And hopefully our trackers will be able to go bod diving and checking what the path counts are that we're working on. We'll update everyone once we get those.
And both
But
of our
for now,
runners
we're off to
making their
CAC.
way. Yep, and for those of you who are new to Triforce Blitz, it's a little bit of a different style for the race. Our runners are looking for 3 pieces of the Triforce. Once they collect all 3 pieces, they are automatically warped to Ganon at the end of the game. And we already have a deviation. Looks like Pyra is going to go upriver first before going to CAC.
I don't think that's a terrible idea. You get a lot of hint stones here in a river. This is a play of someone that wants as much information as humanly possible. Also, we got an update on the path counts, and we hate it. It is 18, 15, 15 today.
That's going to be a big oof right there. Oh, well, Burning Cactus Song of Storms, that might have something to do with it.
Oh, yeah, that explains a lot.
And Pyra inside Ganon's castle's courage. That's with path counts being this high, that's going to be standard. Also, with our path counts being this high, we should probably expect a lot of item overlap, I think, at this point. And that looks like magic.
Ooh, that's a nice find early on. How much do you want to bet that's step 1?
Oh my gosh, that would just... And Prelude, okay. I mean, we don't hate that.
There are, again, there are better things we could have gotten, but also not the worst. It gives us quick access to the temple whenever we're a child.
Exactly. Jax looks like they're going to be finishing up Adult CAC, and so far not really coming away with anything. Coming away with some money, a couple pieces of heart. What we got here?
Shadow Temple Path to Wisdom.
I'm going to go out on a limb and take a stab in the dark and say that part of these high path counts is probably going to be some Warp Song shenanigans. Death Mountain Crater Path to Courage.
Yeah, this is making me wonder, where is Nocturne at? Because that could get gross if Shadow Temple's involved. I'm wondering if it's on OOT.
With path counts this high, that's kind of where, like, as a runner, that's where my brain would probably start off. Would just kind of make that assumption. As soon as you see that you're going to need Shadow, because Shadow is a minimum 5 steps, right, to get the full kit. So you've narrowed down the number of items you need from 15 to 10, because you know what 5 of them are going to be. And then it's just going to be a matter of, okay, well, how many of those items are going to be locked behind something like ZL or the bomb bag?
Yeah. Yeah, that's a really good point. Actually, is that magic where it was located in Zora's River? Is that logical to make that jump over to it, or do you need hover boots?
The hover boots are a bean.
Or a bean? Okay.
Nope. Chat, correct me if I'm wrong.
Hovers or child access. Awesome. Thank you, KLO.
Ooh.
Yeah, Tobias, just strap in. We're going to be here for a bit.
And Jax, so Jax just finished up the initial, what we'll call our, kind of our initial vanilla routing, and came away with a whole lot of nothing in both CAC and Graveyard, for the accessible parts of Graveyard. So that's usually, so now you start to get a little concerned, because that's about as much adult as you can get away with initially. And coming away from those empty-handed can be a real pain in the butt.
Yeah, and like I said, Jax really likes to follow the logic, and that means that it makes sense that Jax isn't going upriver yet, because there's not really much you can do there. But it does make me concerned about the difference in information that our runners have right now. But hopefully Jax is able to get bomb bag and get upriver in this Child 1.
Yeah, for now, I think that's probably going to be the biggest. And usually, when you see path counts that are this high, you tend to want to the two things you tend to want to prioritize Zora's Domain on the path
to wisdom too.
There we go. Yeah, so to finish that thought, generally what you're going to want to do at that point is you're going to want to try and prioritize information over item checks early, just to give you a sense of, where do I need to be looking for these items?
Yeah, this is really a mode, at least in my opinion, that's about quality over quantity. You don't want to, especially with a time limit of 2 hours, you don't want to spend time doing checks that you do not absolutely have to do.
Exactly. And there's a piece of Hartford, so Jack's making their way through Hyrule Castle. And again, one of those, and again, like you said, it's one of those, the more checks you do where you come away without items, you start to get more and more concerned, because if you don't have information that tells you where to be looking, you can almost get kind of trapped with well, I've checked everything, into that mentality, and tend to overlook.
Yeah, this is a case where I'm actually really hoping Jax does an early Gerudo Valley into Lake. And I'm not just saying that because I like Valley Lake opener. I'm saying that because that gets you 4 hint stones as well as several easily accessible child checks. I would go for that information right now, especially if Jax can't find a mom bag to get upriver.
Yeah, definitely. No, I'm a firm believer and firm proponent of the Valley Lake Loop, especially in Blitz, just from a standpoint of it's great information access, and also if you have a seed where, like our runners, you come away from Kakariko and Graveyard empty-handed, it gives you a lot of information and clears out some of the more out of the way item checks that you just can wipe off your plate and never have to think about again.
Yeah, because you really want to try to clear as much of an area as you can, like especially in this mode, so you don't have to do a ton of that backtracking. Your time management is so huge.
Yeah, I think one of the biggest run killers in Triforce Blitz is multiple age changes. I think that's the biggest thing. Like you want to, if you want to have segments of child and adult last as long as absolutely possible.
Yeah, so KLO, if you have the opportunity to do Valley Lake Child 1, go do it.
And we just got ZL, so that's going to open up a lot.
Ooh, yeah, finding ZL at Lon Lon is great early on. It would be great if we didn't have storms on Burning Cack. So, but at least we don't have to be hunting for that.
That's very true, but also what ZL kind of is that Rudos?
Let me see. No, it looked like just an empty bottle.
Okay.
But we'll see here in a second.
Checks. It's one of those terrible camera angles.
Awesome. So Jax has a bottle. Cool. I do think that finding that ZL early makes a better case for Nocturne being on OOT at this point. It would explain a lot of the bottlenecking, or a lot of the high counts that we're working with today. And we will get an OOT hint somewhere, hopefully. Unless it's somewhere gross.
I'm gonna say back of lake or Medigoron, maybe. Just put it in a really out of the way spot.
Hyrule Castle 3.
Oh, I've had a few of I've definitely had a few seeds where information has been dried up that it's like, do I go do that?
I have seen one Triforce Blitz race where someone went and got the information at Hyrule 3, and actually, if I remember correctly, it wound up being pretty darn important.
It's been known to happen. So,
hey, Mido's paying out. Well, okay, he could pay out more. Okay, that's better.
Well, that is an excellent find.
Especially yeah, talk about routing.
Time to go, and it's like, all right, well, I guess we know what we're doing. We're going straight, and Jax is doing it, going straight into Deku, because Deku also locks a song, if I remember. Yep.
It just occurred to me that if you're telling Mido that you've got a sword, does Mido know that you stole that sword out of his house? Do you think he knows that you broke in and stole his stuff?
Feels like Mido's the kind of guy that doesn't spend a whole lot of time at home. He seems like a workaholic, you know. He's pulling
True.
17-hour days.
Ooh, inside Ganon's castle is Path to Wisdom, which with Deku being so readily accessible, honestly doesn't surprise me.
Yeah. And now we're gonna get Jax is gonna show us back of Deku.
Ooh. What if we need something in light trial? There would be 3 of our items.
That and Path to Power. Okay. That is interesting.
So remind me, because it's been a while since I've commentated Triforce Blitz or watched Triforce Blitz. Since we got one Path to Courage or Path to Wisdom and one Path to Power, those have to be for different items, correct?
Yes, that is correct. So Ganon's right now is actually Path to Courage, Wisdom, and Power. So Ganon's castle is just Ganon's being a hoarder right now.
Dang. Well, and again, having Deku Tree so readily accessible doesn't entirely surprise me. For anyone who hasn't watched a ton of Triforce Blitz, you only need 2 dungeon rewards for the Rainbow Bridge to appear. You start with one of them, the one that you get for pulling the sword out of the stone, and then you just have to get one more, which they're going to get after finishing Deku.
Yeah, so with that information, I imagine both of our runners, as soon as they finish Deku, are probably going to head straight into Ganon's castle because that seems to be the most item-dense location that we know of for sure.
How many checks? Yeah, and hopefully they'll get something like a bomb bag or a bow or a hook shot that lets them do a little bit more. With what they've got right now, what checks actually aren't accessible in Ganon's castle?
So obviously, light trial not accessible because they need strength 3 for that. They also do not have access to spirit trial as well. So there's 2 checks in spirit trial they can't do, and then there are 2 checks in shadow trial that they cannot, that they can't get to. So they're still technically out. They're still out a good chunk.
Yeah.
So we're really hoping that we find something in the 1 chest in Forest Trial, or my personal favorite, the 2 chests in Water Trial, and hopefully nothing on the Astolfo, the Ganon's boss key.
Yeah, that fight with 3 hearts this early. Ooh. I mean, our runners are great. They're gonna be fine, but also
Jax rocking the B1 skip.
it's kind of interesting that even with the path divergence, our runners are in here roughly the same time. And Pyra actually had time to go back and do the rest of CAC, which I think really speaks to Pyra's execution so far.
Yeah, for sure. I think right now the biggest differences between our runners is going to be that magic that Pyra found in Zora's River, and how long is it going to take Jax to get over to River to pick that up?
Yeah, especially because with that magic, if Pyra finds like furores early on, that's something you could drop quickly in Ganon's castle and come back for those other 11 checks.
Yeah, that could be a big time save, not having to retraverse their way back and forth. And a very clean kill on Goma for Jax.
Yeah, nothing inside of Deku except that reward, so extra crossing our fingers that there is anything early in Ganon's.
Yeah, that really feels like the game is kind of, because that really feels like the seed itself is kind of pointing us to, no, here's a dungeon kit. Go beat this dungeon real quick, because all the stuff you actually need is over here.
Yeah. And as Shanix pointed out, it was the Forest Medallion, so we are going to get a song with this age change. Not that one! We don't care about that one!
We already have Prelude seed. We don't need Poor Man's Prelude.
Yeah, I mean, sure.
So this is where, if for me as a runner, knowing these high path counts and knowing that Shadow is on my path, this is where I do start to really, really think about Nocturne being on OOT. And for me, this is where I would be, like, I'd finish out, if I was Jax right now, I'd finish out my Ganon's Castle checks, but then I would probably try and rush some of my song checks just to narrow down, like, please, please, please tell me that it's not what I think it is.
Yeah, and I'm looking at our medallion layout. They have to beat forest and water to get OT, which, again, this would explain that high path count, especially if, like, one of the hook shots is locked by another hook shot, or if our strengths are locking each other in some way. So if we need our iron boots and our scales and our water entrance. So
Exactly.
yeah, I'm really feeling Nocturne on OT. Yeah, ooh boy. So
yeah, I'm gonna hold on real tight to all of these castle checks for Ganon up.
big
Jack's
chest.
gonna go ahead and grab some blue fire.
Bomb back, thank God.
Okay. So bombs are packed. Well, that is definitely helpful, but also,
Grass is green.
you know. Yes. Oh, that was an interesting hint. Graveyard, also path. That's interesting.
Ooh,
we didn't find anything in Graveyard.
Sunsong Grave?
Yeah, our options right now are Sunsong Grave. Oh, there's a
Composer's Grave?
Yeah,
Because they didn't get to
Grave
check
and
composers. Oh.
Don't love that.
Don't love that. Vanilla Requiem today, folks.
Yeah, so for Graveyard, what we've got left, we've got the Song and Composer's Grave, which if Nocturne is OOT and if Storms is on Burning Cag, the only other song I think the only other song we would really care about at that point would be something like Requiem.
Yeah. Unless we need Sunsong to get into the Sunsong Grave.
And then, of course, there's everybody's favorite out-of-the-way check, which is Dampe Digging.
Oh, I didn't think of that. Okay, so they've got 3 more checks in Graveyard.
Yep.
I wonder if Pyra is going to try to route that in this child section. Because Pyra's doing a lot more child checks than Jax did.
Yeah, Pyra's choice to stay child is kind of interesting, because there's not too many more things they can do without, well, I mean, I guess that's not entirely true. There are lots of things they could do. Whether those things are the most advisable, I guess we'll find out at the end. I think, yeah, thanks to Therian. Yeah, the song, he's gonna go check Saria's song.
I think that's
again,
a good call. Yeah.
Yeah, because I think, again, you want to narrow down, like, where the hell is Nocturne? Like, as
Pyra's also going to get 3 hint stones. 4? Oh god, I forgot how many hint stones are in Sacred Forest Meadow.
I think it's 3. But still, that's if combined. Pyra is going to get a very clear picture of, because they already have the 3 from River as well. And so if they've got that, he's got the 3 from River, the 3 here.
And getting that Sun Song there before going back to Graveyard is great. Also, Zora's River, Path to Courage, so magic.
So there's your magic. It's like, and so magic for, and that's the question. So magic for what, right?
Yeah. Is it magic to be able to use Dins to get into Shadow, which is honestly my guess? Is it magic for the lens to cross Wasteland, which also might be true? Is it magic for something else? I don't know what our other options are. Wasteland?
Yeah,
is it Wasteland?
It could be. We need it, now we need a fire. Now we want a fire source. It looks like Jax is going to go ahead and pick up the magic here in River and get the hints as well. What's interesting is I haven't seen a whole lot of other dungeon. Like, we've mentioned inside Ganon's castle, but other than Ganon's castle, we haven't mentioned, I don't think we've mentioned a single dungeon for items outside of Shadow. Everything else has been like Death Mountain Crater, River, a lot of overworld stuff.
Which is interesting because looking at our sheet, we only have one more path hint. And it's important to remember, again, for anyone who hasn't watched this in as long as I have, the hints prioritize dungeons over overworld. So if there are items in dungeons, those hints are going to be placed first. Now, that doesn't mean that there aren't items in dungeons, just that they're not included in path count.
Yeah, that's, I mean, I think for the runners, it's time to start getting a little concerned, because obviously Pyra is finishing up Ganon's now, Jax has already done Ganon's, and the only things you really have left in Ganon's are Shadow Trial 2, and then Spirit Trial and Light Trial.
Which is gross. Oh boy. I'm also looking, and we've only gotten one power hint. Do you think that that would indicate that it's very likely that power overlaps one or both of the other paths?
I would feel comfortable making that assumption for sure. I would almost at this point also say that courage and wisdom are in the same place. Mark it foolish, okay. Love to see that.
Yeah, there's a bunch of child checks you don't have to worry about.
Jax unfreezing King Zora for
Nothing.
candy bar. Awesome.
And is Jax going to weep skip? Jax is gonna weep skip.
It's one of those things, like,
I guess while you're here, with a path count this high.
Well, and it also kind of makes sense. Again, you haven't gotten a whole lot of dungeons hinted at this point. And not only do you get a good number of items checked, you also get another song as well.
Ice is also path. I actually forgot about it because it was the first path hint that we got right as we rushed into this game. It's path to courage. It was the hint at Temple of Time, so that's probably also on Jax's mind.
Oh, well, there you go. And again, that's the only other dungeon we've seen hinted so far. Water
Temple Foolish. So that Serenade is extra useless.
Well, especially in that. Well, it's also that, I don't know. That could be good information, especially if Nocturne does wind up being on OOT, because at that point, okay, cool. Just go in, find your long shot, go don't bother with any of the no key logic, nothing crazy required. Just go in, beat it, get out.
Yeah, that is a great hint to get right now for Jax. And Jabu's foolish.
Jabu is foolish. The sky is blue. It's Triforce Blitz. When you need to worry about a seed when you don't get a hint that Jabu is foolish. That's when you need to start being concerned.
Yeah, because Jabu only has, what, 2 checks? 3?
Yeah, it's really, really low. And, like, the longer you... Like, if you're playing a seed and the longer you go without seeing something like that, that's when you know Randobot really hates you. Also, our runners have made it almost 30 minutes in, and it appears that they are both on team Don't Buy a Shield.
Hey, but buying a shield is an extra, what, 15 seconds you can't get back?
I personally, like be able to, shield drop my bombs, but I'm also terrible at execution, so what do I know?
I'm also terrible at execution, but I still don't buy a shield. And Jax is in Ice Cavern. Let's see what's here.
And Pyra is making his way back to probably going to Death Mountain Crater, I would imagine, at this point. Pyra's going to buy a shield. There we go.
Yeah.
Hashtag always buy a shield. Always. Chat, listen to me. Always buy a shield.
Chat, don't listen to Ronan. Don't buy a shield. You don't need it. You are good enough without a shield to hide behind.
Also, an interesting point, neither of our runners is really making an overly concerted effort to collect skulls.
So, I don't know about Pyra. I know Jax is incredibly confident in their skull routing. They love skull routing. Like, they could do it all day. It's nuts. So, Jax, if they feel like skulls are something they need to do, I'm willing to bet they feel they can catch up very quickly.
Yeah, that would make a lot of sense, and that is, yeah, Jax definitely has a great grasp on locations to be able to pick up skulls fairly quickly. Also, one of the changes that was one of the other changes that I totally spaced on. You can now check what the 20 skull hint is by talking to the 20 skull tool, and there's your strength.
Oh god, light trial incoming. I'm calling it now. Something is in light trial.
Light trial really intensive. Oh boy, and that's not the Sun's Grave is a whole lot of nothing.
So it's Composer or Dampe, because I don't think Pyra came back for Dampe digging.
No, I don't believe either of our runners have done Dampe digging. So we're either Composer's Grave and light torches, which I guess is kind of a drawback of doing Composer's Grave to adults.
Or it could be the song, so
I'm feeling strong Requiem vibes from Composer's Grave. Like I'm really feeling.
I think it's gonna be Saria's. And I think something's gonna be in Dancing Dad.
Ooh.
Oh, what?
Oh, that makes me feel loads. Does that make me feel better? Does that make me feel worse?
I think it makes me feel worse. Why are our counts so high? Huh. I'm in danger. Or should I say our runners are in danger? Weird. Interesting. Well, that's going to make it easier for Pyra to come back here and check Dampe digging if he feels like clearing out this location.
That's That's fair. Oh, oh, oh no, oh no.
What?
What if OT is a Pona song, and our long shot is in GTG?
Ooh. Wait, but that can't be right because we need water to get OT.
Okay, my
So
little
it's
mini
not
panic
gonna
attack
be.
has subsided now.
How about this? Epona's to get hammer. Can a Triforce piece be in a foolish dungeon?
No,
Okay.
the dungeon is foolish. There is absolutely nothing in there.
I'm trying.
But you could put something really dumb like hover boots on Volvagia or something like that.
Yeah, I was about to say. Okay, so here's what I'm predicting. OT to go get Epona's to get hammer to get hover boots off of Volvagia. There we go.
That's sufficiently that's sufficiently mean. I think.
Also inside the fire temple is where you get your fire source, but also you have to go get something out of Wasteland. Just because I want Wasteland.
Or like halfway through Spirit too, because as long as you don't, Mirror Shield only locks like 3 checks.
Ooh, yeah.
Jack's gonna go ahead and wrap up Ice Cavern, or not
Only
big
things
chest.
that strength
Yeah.
and forced access.
Well,
But right now, that's out of logic.
yes.
KLO, Saria's on OT would actually be kind of make sense, especially with Minuet being there and us not knowing where Rudo's is. I like those odds.
And there is Bolero as well. So we've got a good rap of warp songs for sure.
Yeah, Jax is gonna go ahead and check this Death Mountain crater, see if they can find the item here.
Oh, the Death Mountain crater item. If it's not, okay. Well,
Wait, but Bolero was at.
Bolero was Minuet check.
This is still out of logic. Because we don't have a way across to get that Saria song. Which means right now we don't have a way to get that Bolero.
Yeah, I mean.
So where's
well,
our hook shots? Where's hovers?
Yeah, and I would also still be kind of skeptical if Bolero was the path, because thank you, Shanna, because that would Bolero would being locking Saria's means Saria's Minuet locked, which is locked behind wherever Rudo's is.
But I mean, that would sure be a way to inflate a path count.
Yeah, like that is definitely one way to just song shenanigans is one way to balloon.
And Pyra is in.
And here we go for Pyra's Trek. So realistically, the only two things we found in Ice Cavern were Strike 1 and Minuet. I really kind of want to lean towards the oh boy. We don't need that, do we, game?
We're just gonna pretend we didn't see that. Keep going. Yeah, we should pay very careful attention to where we find our hooks and where we find our hovers, because that is going to untangle this song mess that we are now witnessing.
Yeah, definitely. What else we got in here?
Zor's Domain, Path to Wisdom. Already knew that one.
Yeah, and the more information we gather about how much more we need to do as child.
Oh. So looking at our hint sheet, I didn't realize that we got a hint that strength unlocks Din's fire in some way.
Oh, that. Okay, so Din's is in light trial. Noted.
Noted. Yeah. Okay. There's where all of our steps are.
Thanks, game.
Well, and that would make us feel a lot better because then that strength is our path, and we don't have to worry about song shenanigans.
True. See that, and not having like, and that's where my logical brain and my gut will start going to war with each other as I'm running through something, because I'll have that moment of like, I really want this to be true, but the bad thing is what my gut is telling me is probably true. Like, I want strength to be my path. That's probably why it's not.
Well, I mean, all we've found in Crater so far is Saria's song, so...
Yeah, it's definitely, if you're running this seed right now, you're definitely breathing a little heavy.
Do we think our runners will find a piece before 2 hours are up? Or is it gonna go sudden death?
I feel pretty confident in both of our runners' grasp of, oh, hang on. That's
not
just
it.
rude. Said it's so rude.
Oh, that's... There are few things you could get that are worse than that.
I mean, could have been another seed bag, I guess, but, I mean, even a bow right now, or like a second bomb upgrade, like, I wouldn't hate a bigger bomb bag right now.
Oh, there's silvers. There we go. That is probably our path.
Okay, that makes more sense. So yeah, it's definitely not Saria's. So once again, light trial intensifies.
Light trial intensifies. That also tells us with that strength in Ice Cavern that either... Oh, what does that tell us?
I guess technically that should be our strength 1, right?
Yes. Yeah, that should be our strength 1. The one in ice is either strength 2 or 3. But we don't know where Rudo's is, and that could impact that.
Yeah, that's gonna be the big one. Finding Rudo's is gonna kind of be that, like, thing that, like, will, like, link 5 things together all at once.
That was a third Ganon's Path to Wisdom. Shannick, are you sure? Oh god, they're right.
So, the first time we went in there, we found Lens in Shadow 1, and what was in water?
Bomb bag.
No, bomb bag. So Lens and a bomb bag.
There are
two items we have
more
found.
items, at least. Maybe 3 or 4 if Lens is not actually part of the path count. Oh, loaded maze.
And yeah.
folks. Let's go do light trial.
Well, thanks, game.
At least this is not a up to the last second hunting for golds.
That is very true. But also, I think you could also kind of infer now that strength you found in ice is probably like that's your path.
Yeah.
Like that kind of solidifies that that's your path.
Yeah, because both of those other strengths are pretty early.
Yeah, I got the free floating one in Crater, and then that's, Rock Maze, which is at best bomb locked, which your bombs are inside Ganon's castle the first time. So do all that. Anybody want to take a side bet that Rudo's letter's in here somewhere?
I bet Rudo's letter won't be in here, but I bet we're going to get a hook shot or a bow that is going to lead us to it.
Oh no, not light trial. Something's here. Or some things, I should say. Shoot. Wow, that's rude, game. Choose. Big
Okay.
Stabby. Wow. That's
Oh
super
god.
rude, game.
Yeah,
What about this
Jackson.
last one? Oh my. Wow. Okay. Oh, hey. Sneaky boy. Sneaky boy by the door.
Okay, come on. Are you kidding?
That might be the trolliest, the absolute trolliest sequence I think I've ever seen.
That sucks. Oh my god. Yeah, so if there's something in light trial, it's key locked and Jax doesn't have a key. I'm sorry, this is horrible. This is the worst.
Randobot didn't wake up this morning and choose violence. Randobot woke up this morning and chose genocide.
Randobot woke up this morning and was like, no one is going to survive this.
Well, I'm glad to see my commentator's curse is holding true. I believe we were having a conversation pre-stream about, path count requests. What I'm trying to say, chat, is that you can totally blame us for this. This is totally our fault.
I want Jax to check the outside Gan's Castle ferry now. I just want to know, because now I'm kind of curious. Especially with that early strength 3. Like, I refuse to believe that there is nothing in light trial, but if there is a chance of nothing in light trial, then, like, all of those strengths gotta go somewhere.
There has to be something. Like, light trial has too many checks, and there's supposed to be too many items in Ganon's castle for light trial to have absolutely nothing.
Yeah, let's see what's back here.
Hold your breath, chat.
Watch it be like...
It's a
okay,
big boy.
yeah, strength did unlock Dins. They're right.
And Dins was in light trial. I rest my case.
And Jax is gonna go check outside Gan's Castle Ferry. Yes, thank you.
I mean, at this point, just to get it all out of the way, it's like, I didn't get these silver gauntlets to not mute rocks.
No, Jax. Sad face. Oh, Jax has to walk back to CAC because Jax doesn't have Nocturne yet.
Jax has not made it to the grave. Has not made it to Composer's grave. That is correct.
Meanwhile, Pyra's going to go check DC. Honestly, not a bad call with that bomb bag, but I'm kind of concerned about how long Pyra's putting off Ganon's castle.
Pyra still has to go to Crater to get that third strength.
I think Pyra got the one from Crater, but hasn't gotten the one in Goron City yet.
They got the mirror shield. It looks like they did.
Oh, okay. Then yeah, it must be
Pyra.
the one out of Crater. But I'm kind of curious as to why Pyra didn't get it earlier, because I thought Pyra was in Crater earlier. Guess I could be wrong.
Or they may have grabbed the song and dipped. Very clean shoe strats there to open the eyeballs. Oh, okay.
Big boy.
What's in here?
Honestly,
Not a total waste of an item.
No. I love furores in Triforce Blitz. I'm wondering if that is going to push Pyra towards Ganon's castle, because now Pyra can go there, drop furores, and come back for the rest of the items later once they have what they need to do the rest of the trials.
Maybe. I don't know. Pyra seems like they're kind of in dungeon clearing mode at this point.
Yeah, which someone point out that he's likely preparing for Burning Cack, which sure. We don't have anything hard indicating that we're gonna need that storms, but with this path count, sure.
Depends on where the hammer is. That's really that's the big sticking point there, because obviously you can't beat fire without having the hammer. So if the hammer is behind some kind of really, 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 really dumb logic chain, and there he's got a that's a very valid point. For all we know, hammer very well could be in shadow. There is... Jax is going to go ahead and pick up Nocturne here.
Yeah, and Jax is going to be so excited to see that after just getting Dins. They can't go deep. Actually, no, never mind. They can't go anywhere. They can't go anywhere. They can walk in the door. They can stare into the void, but...
Yeah, at this point, our runners have picked up a decent amount of items. So now that's trying to do the, process of elimination. What items do you not have, and what dungeons are you required to do with the items you currently don't have? And from there, you get to start. You get to kind of narrow down. Like I'm still kind of leaning towards either GTG or Spirit. Just because we still don't have a way to get across the bridge or wasteland, technically.
Yeah, so going into fire doesn't feel super appealing right now with us having no idea how to cross that bridge. Pyra also just saw that strength 3, so Pyra is going to be rushing that. Meanwhile, Jax getting the fairy fountain? Or no, this grotto up here. Yeah, right now our two big question marks are where's that Rudo's letter? And how do we get across the bridge? Because I think that those are kind of our two tangles.
Jax gets $5.
All right, Jax. What's our plan?
Like, yeah, how are we feeling about these? How are we feeling about these chains here?
I just realized neither of our runners did Valley Lake, which that's 2 items in Valley that could be important. And then they can do fishing.
And Hyrule Field, because neither of our runners has been out in the field yet either.
Oh God, no one's been out in the field yet. Yeah, and with that bomb bag, I would be checking that.
Yeah, if I was Jax right now, it looks like that's what they're gonna go do.
And the Rudo's letter spot.
Yep.
With that scale.
Yeah, I think that's where my this would be child 2, 3. I don't know anymore. This would be child 10
2
for me, I think, at this point. But yeah, I think this is where you make this child 2 all of your Hyrule Field checks, do all of your child lake checks, and
those are nuts.
We need to do Zora's Domain because Zora's Domain is a path.
Which Jax is doing right now.
And again, like we were saying earlier, this is definitely that part where it's like, okay, so when you step out of logic, one of the drawbacks is, it makes it a little bit more difficult to tie items together because you don't know how many items in between. You may have 2 items that are on a path, but you don't know how far apart they are. And if you have to link in between, it can get real dicey.
Yeah, which is really what our runners are doing at this point. Just trying to fill in those gaps. They've got all these little links, but they're just not quite connected.
Well, getting our last check in Domain, and since King Zora had nothing and the torches had nothing, we're gonna go diving for some rubies.
Yep, this is gonna be our item. What do you think it's gonna be, Ronan?
I'm gonna go with fire arrows.
Ooh, for like Shadow Trial?
For like Shadow Trial 2, or to light the torches in Spirit.
Let's see. The
I
scale
just
was
want it to
in...
be trolly.
Yeah, the scale was in Lostwood Scrub Grotto. I think a hammer would be like the most trolly thing because it's like, what do you do with that? Also, speak of trolly, Pyra just found the ring. Oh, that's what's in the Eat Rock.
And your hook shot. Well, the game had to give us Randobot had to give us progression at some point.
Yeah, Randobot had to give us something to work with. So congrats, KLO, for successfully guessing it's gonna be a hook and Netherian.
So the question now is, does Jax do light trial first, or does Jax play Minuet and go straight into forest?
I would check forest up to the bow chest, personally.
See, I would go light. I would go spirit trial first. Just because I've been given so many hints that Ganon's Castle has stuff that I want that I just would want to full clear it.
Ooh.
Before doing literally anything else.
That's fair. That's fair.
And Water Temple is also foolish. Classic Triforce Blitz.
Yeah, I forgot about the fact that we haven't gotten any hints for forest. So yeah, going back to Inside Ganon's Castle makes way more sense with our hint distribution. Pyra getting the news, not even shield flicking, just kind of looking around like, what? Leaving, coming back in.
Well, with Boar's Wind, it definitely makes it a little bit easier because, Pyra's got to run all the way up to grab that key and then, come all the way back down.
And Jax is inside of Shadow right now. Honestly, I don't hate it.
First 2 checks, and again, it's a location you haven't been to yet that has been hinted as, part of your path.
Yeah, Path to Wisdom, which is one of our 15 counts.
Generally, it's light endemic, so you don't block anything behind it. I was hoping for a second that Shadow Temple was something really silly, like part of Light Arrow cutscene.
Ooh, yeah, that would also be gross. What are our Jabu and Spirit? Oh. I mean, at least Jabu would be quick.
Making quick work of Dead Hand there. And is rewarded with
a key! And we are hovers locked from whatever item is deeper in Shadow, everybody.
Hopefully at this point, to the surprise of absolutely nobody.
There's a part of me that is starting to wonder with that 18 count if it's out in Spirit somewhere, especially because we got that lens that as of right now is one of our path items, and we know Market is foolish.
That is true. If Lens is path and Market is foolish, there's really only one thing you need it for.
Yeah, unless there's something else in like Spirit Trial.
And it looks like Jax is going to go ahead and make the play. I mean, if something's on Shadow 2, that's so gross.
Yeah. And Channick is actually reminding me, we still don't know what's on OOT. And we are coming down to our last hour.
Dastar, welcome in. You should play this seed. It would it's
you would
excellent.
love it.
It's perfect. It's real easy, really laid back.
There's no shenanigans whatsoever. I have not been cackling through this entire seed.
Sadie did not cackle. We do not have a clip of it.
Wait, where are those hovers? Where are those hovers that Pyra just got?
Hey,
okay. Ronan, how does this tie into our paths?
Well, let's see. We've got the scale that led us to the hook shot. Hook shot led us in here to Rudo's letter, which would lead us to strength 3 for Din's.
I'm writing this down now so I don't forget. So, scale gets us hook, gets us Rudo's letter, gets us...
Which that'll get us through to Ice Cavern, which will get us strength.
Yes.
And Minuet.
But yeah, at this point, I don't feel like the minuet is relevant, especially with our hint distribution. If something was going to be inside a forest, we would have seen it by now. So I don't think that there's a piece or a useful item inside a forest.
Yeah.
Unless the bow is just in some gross place.
Not impossible. It is a bow after all.
But it would have to be pretty awful. So you need all 3 strength. I'm trying to... There are so many items.
Well, the weird part is, you know, hovers is bomb locked. Or hammer locked, I guess, technically.
Yeah, but we haven't seen the hammer yet.
And so you could, I guess you could add that because your bombs locked your hovers, so wherever we got the first bombs.
Yeah, which would have been water trial. Which, and at this point, I'm wondering if that Kokiri sword is part of the path, because there is no way we could complete any other dungeon without getting inside Gan's castle.
Yeah, that would also make sense. And it being, you know, the Kokiri sword being Spear Zero, the game just being like, hey, here's your full Deku kit. And also, we got the hint that Deku was foolish. So it would literally be path. It would be 2 items. You need Kokiri sword and slingshot just to beat Goma to get the medallion to go into. There we go. Kokiri sword and slingshot to beat Goma to go get bomb bag and water trial to get hovers in field.
God. Okay. I'm up to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I have 10 items so far, which is Kokiri sword, scale, hook, Rita's letter, all 3 strengths, one of which required bombs, Nocturne,
Which was locked by ZL.
which was locked by ZL. That's 11.
And ZL was... Chat, help me out. Where was ZL?
Our lovely sheet says it was on Malin, so it was Sphere 0.
Okay, so ZL was just out there.
Yeah, ZL was just out there. The bombs get us hovers. And Din's was locked by strength. That's 12. I'm really wondering how long... Yeah, I was about to ask, when does someone go out of logic or go in without a hammer and go do deep fire? Because now especially seeing that, I'm really wondering if it's deep fire.
I was about to say, it's like probably right around the time you find a Goron tunic in Shadow Temple. Which, hey, look at that. Yeah, if you, I feel more comfortable about that if you actually found a wallet. More. Get a wallet to buy a Goron tunic.
Yeah, so the tunic would bring us up to 12.
Both wallets are in the well. Thank you, Club.
You want to know what would be absolutely crazy? Because you want to know what would bring us up to 15? If we included Minuet to get Bolero to get Saria's, and if there's like a bow on Saria's with like that's Locky. Wait, no, that would bring us up to 16.
Yeah, it'd be one too many.
Damn it. Okay,
Yeah,
so
no,
Minuet's not path.
Yeah.
Oh, but with that hookshot location, it could be hookshot over to Saria's, which would bring us up to 13, and I'm wondering if something is either on Skull Kid or on Dancing Dad. That'll get us to our 15th item. That's what I'm wondering. That's my speculation right now, everyone. Binge. Hook was on the diving minigame in Zora's Domain. I did already include the shadow item, Shannock. Wait. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 13 if we include the tunic.
To go get something dumb and fire.
To go get something dumb and fire, which will be 14. To go get something else dumb.
Oh, no. You need the tunic to get the hammer and fire so that you can beat Volvagia for Song of Storms and have both pieces at the bottom of the well. There you go.
Oh, although Shannock's pointing out, nothing can be in fire because fire is not path, and that's the big complication in all of this.
Fair point.
We do have all 10 paths, Kalo. Gan's Castle is hinted 4 times. 4 different items are in Gan's Castle.
And the last 2 things we saw in my trial were Rudo's letter and... What was the other thing we grabbed?
I don't remember. I was staring at my little note card where I've been frantically scribbling.
The point is, chat, our runners are doing an absolutely fantastic job collecting these items and following this logic, because there's a very good possibility that our runners could be an hour and 10 minutes into this seed as they are and have maybe 50% of these items or less.
Yeah, so the pacing they're going, I think someone's going to find a piece. It's just a matter of who makes the call when. And what's been interesting about watching these 2 runners is that Jax and Pyra are doing the same checks, but in different orders. But I mean, like, close together. It's not like a massive divergence. It's just a little bit of weaving back and forth.
Yeah. And Jax is going to do some downplay digging to get...
Nothing.
Well, $5. Okay.
So that means our graveyard has to be Nocturne, which makes sense.
Nocturne feels the strongest. There is going to be that little part of your brain that is like, if I didn't like this, like, I didn't light the torches. But, I mean, they could. If they really wanted to clear out graveyard, they've got Dinspire. So they could go down into Composer Grave, light the torches real quick just to see.
Yeah,
Hey,
and
chickens.
Pyra's making a fire dip. I don't hate it. Or not? Oh, I'm wondering if Pyra's remembering... Yeah, I'm wondering if Pyra's remembering the domain. Wait, but Pyra doesn't have the scale. I mean, you can still get to domain, but it's gonna take a little longer.
Yeah. And all Anju had to give was a hug.
Not according to the tracker.
Yeah, that's a fair point. I don't recall them going through all of Lost Woods with their bomb bag. I could be wrong. Yeah, I'm not sure what the play is for Jax right now.
I like a Valley. I'm really excited to see this check right here. Come on, Jax, are we thinking the same thing? Nope. Well, we still have Dancing Dad. What's interesting is that each of our runners kind of has something that the other one really needs. Pyra's got those hovers, and Jax has that hook shot.
Yep.
It's kind of interesting that Pyra hasn't gone back to domain yet, but I'm sure they're going to loop it in on this child run. I am curious, when is Jax going to go field?
Field is an easy, and Field is one of those easy overworld checks that's just like, oh, it's easy to put off. Like it's check dense, but it's also like, you have to traverse it. It's massive and takes a decent amount of time if you're going to try and full clear it all at once without a Pona song. I think that's the big thing holding Jax back from doing Field is that they don't have a Pona.
Yeah. Shannick, the Tunic is a 13 step, but we also haven't cleared out Shadow, so I'm leaving it open to the possibility that maybe that's not our 13th item. Also, yes, if our lovely tracker for Pyra could light up that scale, and while we're at it, because we're in the last 45 minutes and I forgot to do this earlier, hey, really quick shout-outs, everyone, because we have some awesome people helping out today. Shout out to our trackers who are doing an awesome job. Thank you, Red, Rune, and Shannick for making sure that we know where the heck we're at. Shout out to our runners, both Jax and Pyra, for giving us an awesome showing. Our race monitor, Gutrune, and our restreamer, Velvet. And shout out to my co-commentator, Ronan, for being here for this mess of a seed.
And of course, one of the best co-coms you can have out there. Shout out to Sadie for giving us all of the entertainment as we sit here and watch our runners get tortured for 2 hours.
All the chuckles, all the snorting, we got it all. Alright, so Pyra's gonna get that hook soon.
Jax is doing their Child Grown City cleanup. Really
okay,
just
now I get to see if my feeling about Saria's song is right.
I still really want to lean into, your Wasteland feeling.
God, I would kill for something to be in Wasteland, but my hopes of seeing Wasteland are decreasing with the seconds.
See, that's what. See, mine are increasing at this point. Just with the lens, pretty much having
The
to be
lens
on
is
our path,
weird.
which means we have to cross Wasteland, and by that point we should already have fire with our access to fire with Dins and Magic.
Yeah, I'm really confused on where Epona's is at this point. And we have
don't know what
just
OOT is.
we don't know what OOT is. At this point, it has to be either OOT or Colossus, both of which suck. Because if it's Colossus, then we need to find our long shot. If it's OOT, we still have to find our long shot.
And Jack's gonna pick up some titties, or not pick up the titties at all.
Jack's just like, we don't need those. And you know what? Good for them. Netherian, I actually really like that call about Longshot being in Shadow. That would allow us to get our OOT song, which might... actually, hold on. If it's the long shot, that's our 13th. Go do Water and Forest. But the long shot would already... I'm trying to see what would need to happen for it to be in Oh, you know what? Here it is. Here's my potential 15 count. Ready? You find Longshot and Shadow to get Epona's on OOT, to get the hammer out off of HBA. Which would let you logically get the hammer check in GTG, and would also let you beat Volvagia. There's my prediction.
That's not off base. I don't think that definitely makes a lot of sense. I want to lean into the. It's like I want to lean into like something stupid, but well, HP and HPA is also bow locked if I remember correctly. I believe you need opponents and a bow to do HPA.
Which, if there are multiple bows open, which with this many items there should be, then that would still make a lot of sense. That would still make a lot of sense that it's just there in GTG. And and Jax also likes GTG, so I'm wondering if that's going to be on their mind.
Jackson's going to pick up their hovers here.
Oh, sweet.
And with the kit they've got, I feel like Jax is probably going to there's the Prelude and probably Nocturne, and Jax is probably going to go beat Forest, or beat Shadow Temple, I think, at this point.
I think Jax will beat Shadow, and depending on if they find anything other than the tunic, likely go Fire and do as much as they can without the hammer. Which is basically everything except Volvagia. Or a bow lock check, if there's anything bow locked, which would be gross.
I think there's one item with bow lock and Fire.
Yeah, I think it is one.
Well, and that balances out because we also started the Song of Time, so we can do like 90% almost. That's a good point, Shannick. If there's key, then a lot of Fire can be bow locked. That is a fair point.
Yeah, and I just realized that Pyra never got the Rudo's letter off of Spirit Trial yet, so Pyra doesn't know that part of the logic.
Nope, Pyra hasn't made his way back to Ganon's castle.
Yeah.
Welcome in, Doc. That is correct.
We have 18, 15, 15 as our steps. There have been some shenanigans. We've counted at least 12 items, potentially 13 if there is nothing else in Shadow except a Goron tunic. We hate to see it.
Yeah, at this point, Pyra's got to be feeling a little lost in the sauce.
Yeah, they are drowning in the sauce. This is more marinara than noodle. Ooh, is this a Valley play at an hour 20 in?
It's definitely getting into that that time of like, where have I not been yet? And,
Ella, that's horrible. It's more like a Hawaiian pizza. I don't know how to pronounce that.
So Jax is going deeper into Shadow.
And yeah, if I found a Goron tunic in a path location, I'd be going deeper too.
That would definitely be one of those like, hey, it's a big chest. It's in my brain, I'm looking at that and going, well, that can't be it. Got some shoes. Well, we can't say there was nothing in Valley.
I just want to say this would have been helpful several hours ago. 1 hour ago. Time is fake.
It's not fake, it's just a flat circle. And $5.
Slingshot unlocks a strength upgrade. No, duh.
What?
To beat Coma.
Oh yeah, there we go.
Yeah, because remember,
those
our
are-
Kokiri sword is pretty certainly part of our path count. Oh,
Yeah.
slingshot! I wasn't thinking of slingshot. So we are actually solidly up to 13. Thank you, KLO.
Yeah. The Kokiri sword slingshot being right next to each other are basically those are the first 2 steps of your path.
Yeah, so we only have to find two more things. Okay, everything's coming together. We're figuring it out.
Now I'm starting to wonder if power might be in, for example, power might end up being in bottom of the well.
Yeah. Actually, I think that's a really good guess at this point.
Yeah, that's fair. I always forget that lensless well is part of the chain.
Yeah, and what's funny about 18 being in spirit is there's no way they're getting over there unless Longshot is legitimately here in Shadow. And I would imagine both of our runners at this point, we are almost at the 30-minute marker before the end, before sudden death, actually. Neither runner has found a piece. They don't know how the other one's doing, so that timer's counting down, and they're gonna see, are we stopping at 2 hours, or are we keep going?
Yep. You get that 5-second, everybody just stops what they're doing.
Penton, sudden death is if neither runner has found a piece by time 2 hours are up. We enter sudden death, and whichever runner finds a piece first is declared the winner just immediately. But we are going to go until we find a piece.
It looks like Pyra missed the big roly boy the first time around. Triforce switch to Manji edition. Yes, I'm here for it. Let's do it.
Do you defeat Randobot, or does Randobot defeat you?
I feel like Randobot's usually the victor in most cases. Jax with a very clean wind tunnel execution. That is hard to pull off.
That was beautiful. And Pyra, meanwhile, heading back into Shadow, going to be able to warp to that Frore's wind spot. Oh, big chest. Incredible. Every big chest we open.
I feel like at this point, anytime I see a big chest, I should just automatically get whatever the opposite of excited needs to be. Like, you see a big chest, don't get excited. You should just dread.
Yeah, every big chest we open in Shadow that is not something actually useful, which at this point, there's not a lot it could be. It could be a bow, it could be the hammer, it could be the long shot, it could be iron boots.
It could be meme arrows.
Could be. Yeah, but like, that's not a lot of options.
No, for sure. And now, it looks like Pyra is set Lor's Wind halfway through Shadow, so he definitely did himself a favor to do some catching up.
Yeah, so he's going to be able to catch up to where Jax is pretty quickly. Or as quick as you can be in Shadow Temple.
Yeah, it looks like, and I think at this point, and both of our runners have essentially done. They're pretty much tied as far as like where they've been. They've kind of they've run laps around each other in all of these locations, but I think their paths have also finally merged again.
Yeah, I think it's going
See,
to be...
Chloe, I didn't want to say it. I just wanted to think it, but you're not wrong. And that would just be so juicy.
Oh, I hate it.
Like, pieces in the toilet. Somebody go wake up Tobias.
Or a Dastar.
Like, Dastar's here. We just poke Dastar.
Is Dastar here? Or has Dastar left us in spirit after seeing what a mess this was? Which I wouldn't blame him.
Took one look at the path count, body reached to Nirvana, and just elevated to another plane. That's probably how I'm sure that's how some of our runners are also feeling at the moment.
That's how our runners feel whenever they finish a seed, whether or not they win. Whenever they're done, it's just like, okay, I'm gonna go not exist for a while.
See, the good news, Clove, is that I have a 1.5-year-old, so getting woken up at 3:30 in the morning for the wrong meme is a tradition these days.
So we are down to 2 more checks in Shadow, this one and Bongo. This is not boding well.
And so far, the only thing we've gotten in here is bum shoes and a tunic.
Ella, we've already gotten Lynn's, and also, guess what? That's a key. Oh boy.
Womp,
One more
womp.
check, y'all. And then it's the tunic, which at least the tunic would give Jax a very solid location to go to.
That is true. It's like, hey, it's the Goron tunic. It's like, well, that's good for approximately one thing.
And Jax is equipping it, so I think that I think Jax is thinking about it.
Not sure what the setup we're looking for here is. Oh. Oh, that's right.
Longo.
Wow. We don't have a bow. We can't shoot the thing down, and we don't have the long shot, so we can't use Pierre either. Right.
Which means that if there is something on Bongo, that tells us something about the logic.
We really missed something.
I'm trying to think what I mean, I guess that there's like top of lab and there's also adult fishing at this point.
So we have seen Top of Lab. Top of Lab, I think, was a blue bee.
Okay.
But yeah, we have adult fishing. We still have some Hyrule field checks that have been
because we haven't
left alone.
We haven't
Neither
checked
of our
Boulder of
runners-
Destiny. We haven't checked Tektite Grotto.
Nope.
There is also Forest Temple, which could have a bow in it, even if it's not path, because stupid bow logic.
Yeah, I'm wondering how long Jax is going to try these chew strats before they Oh, Bowler of chess, then he was indeed checked, and it was dead. So we have Tech Grotto.
With an early scale, I mean, I don't think Tech Grotto's out of the question.
No, and that, but it's. I would almost just go into fire now.
Yeah, I honestly.
So close.
The thing is that I think Jax will try this for another minute because Jax really does not want this path item to be this tunic.
Which is a very fair feeling to have right now.
And Pyra's not gonna attempt it.
I was gonna say, I don't think Pyra's feeling that. I think Pyra's gonna. Are we about to see a Forest player or a Bolero?
I mean, I think
Or we're gonna see something
Bolero.
else?
Oh, nice!
Got him.
So, okay, this is gonna be potentially deciding if there is something on Bongo, the favor goes to Jax. If there is not, Pyra could. Oh, but Pyra has to go back to inside Gan's castle. Ugh.
Yeah, Pyra
But if
definitely
Pyra-
going for that spirit trial check.
Okay, but if Pyra is able to get to fire before, Yeah, this is looking good for Jax right now.
Yeah, nope. Not having a bow here at the end of Shadow's a real pain in the butt.
Oh, geez. I wasn't even thinking about the fact that Jax is about to play hook shot to Bongo.
Nobody's favorite, that's for sure. And there's Rudo's letter for Pyra. All right.
Come on, Jax. One cycle. You can do it. 3, 4,
Big
5,
stab. You
6,
just get
7,
stabbed
8,
in there.
9. Yes!
Great one cycle.
And that's really what Jax needed to have happen. You do not want to hookshot Bongo any longer than that. All right, and Pyra is back in Shadow, so going to try it now.
Just wanted to make that real, just one quick thing. And we are getting an item question mark.
Long shot! Long shot, everyone! Let's go!
Good news, it wasn't the tunic.
And you want to know something? With this kit, I would... okay, here's the question. Do you rush GTG or do you... rush GTG, right?
It's rush GT. It's rush GTG because water's been hinted foolish, so you don't need anything in water. Oh no, Jax doesn't have the water as foolish hint, do they?
No, I think they do.
Okay.
They just don't have Eponas.
That was only mildly concerning. Hey. If the long shot is bow locked, that makes the long shot. That's 13, 14, right?
That brings us up to 14, yes.
Which means that the hammer could very well be on my personally favorite check, which is shoot the sun.
Ooh.
Not saying, just saying.
Shoot the done is the check that I always forget exists. And so I am delighted at the idea that you have to go do foolish water to go get your hammer to even begin thinking about getting a piece.
But just a thought, and with the way with as trolly as Randobot has been today. Alrighty, Pyra get there. Maybe. Is that one better?
Nope, too low.
Nope. Nope. Chew strats were a bit of a savior today, it looks like.
Yeah. I would love to know after this race where the hell they expect us to find a bow.
Yeah, it's gonna be one of those. It's like, okay, somebody pull up the spoiler log. It's like, where is this?
You-
What was I supposed
you
to
know?
do?
You know, I bet I know where it is. I bet you money there is a bow just sitting there on 10 skulls.
You know what? You're probably right.
I bet you money it's just sitting on 10 skulls because we have not collected a single skull this seed.
And of course, it would be the one time that, you know, a runner like Jax, who is pretty notorious for collecting skulls, chooses not to collect skulls to have something on skulls.
That is what is so. I'm gonna ask Jax to go check 10 skulls after this race.
It's like, please do it for the memes.
It's like Jax and begging me. We have to know.
Well, they started. I'm pretty sure Jax has like 3.
Okay, so maybe it's been in the back of their mind a little bit. Oh, we get spoiler logs in this mode? Sweet.
And Jax go ahead and making their way straight into GTG. Not going to be able to do that first room check, obviously, with the eye switch.
Yeah, and Pyra is going to be behind them here soon. I know how the mode works, Dastar. I just didn't know we get a spoiler log.
Bold of you to assume we know things.
Bold of you to assume we can read.
If those comms people could read, they'd be very upset at what you said.
This Dastar can't stop me because I can't read.
Alright, getting key on the form. Uh-oh. No, don't have hope. I have to remember.
It's there!
Don't have hope.
Okay, Jax has
Boom.
pulled ahead.
Which means there's another piece in here.
Yeah, because that officially means here we are, 15 steps.
That's a fair point.
Yeah, especially with not knowing where a bow is. But I'm really wondering how Jax is feeling after getting that piece. Probably relieved, but also like, ugh. Oh,
I would say, you know, a little. Maybe not. I don't know if comfortable would be the right word, but definitely, like a path count like this. Me personally, if I find one piece in the 2 hours, I'm like, you know what? This is a personal best for me. I feel good about me.
Yeah, that's really, we are all winners in Triforce Blitz if we can get at least one piece. And yes, at least Jax knows that in 17 minutes and 30 seconds, the suffering is over. This mess of a seed can go in the garbage where it belongs after we find out where the bow is.
That is very true. But Dastar, I mean, let's be honest. We all thoroughly enjoyed the 10 minutes at the end of a seed going, okay, so what the heck was that again?
Yeah, and it looks like Jax is gonna go ahead and cross, so maybe we'll even get to see power today.
There's,
Because
there's still time to find a bow and get back.
Yeah, adding in the mirror shield brings us up to 16. Wait. Oh, I know why my list is 14 and not 15. It's because I didn't have magic written down. Duh. This is why I don't race, y'all.
No, Sadie, you need to do the Pictionary races. That way, all you have to do is run around and have somebody tell you what to do.
Okay, I drew for the first Pictionary race, and I have a lot of love for my runner because it was 40 skulls. I was still bad at logic back then, and at the end of the seed, whenever it's just my runner like finishing up, I drew all 40 skulls on the screen because I was so fed up. So I will not touch a Pictionary race as a runner. Big chest.
Hey, look, Wasteland. Oh.
Yes!
Hey,
I stay winning. Guess who wins? Me.
Sadie gets what Sadie wants, always.
Sadie gets what Sadie wants. Damn it. If I can't have anything in the Valley Lake loop, then I will have something in Wasteland.
Now, here's the question. Does Jax continue on to Spirit, or does she turn around and go back to GTG?
It looks like they are going to go ahead and head on out to Spirit. They're probably feeling pretty good about there being a piece out there.
Because let's see. And they didn't drop furores.
They did not. No. Did they? I think they did. Yes.
They did. Okay.
And I'm doing the math. So let's say Requiem because of Key Mayhem. Mirror Shield, that brings us up to 17. So we would just need
Requiem for Child Spirit.
And Lens. There we go. There's our 18. Thank you, Shannick. So Lens, Requiem, and Mirror gets us Spirit.
Which means you have to really speed your way through Spirit.
Yeah, because needing the mirror means it's
well, that's which is good though, because then you know it's mirror locked. Mirror only locks 3 checks. Now, for anyone in chat who might remember Season 1, there's one hard and fast rule that hasn't quite translated over to Season 2, but still could hold true, and that is that Twin Rova always hoards Triforce pieces.
Yeah, I would not be surprised if Jax just rushes. Oh, big boy? This can't be it.
What? This can't be anything, right? Well, as Jax knows all too well, those are DLC, not required. Ugh.
Dassar, what do you mean by legendary seed?
Wasteland and toilets.
No, because if it was toilet, and Dastar, I hate breaking your heart, but if it was toilet, we would have had a hint for those iron boots. I'm sorry to break your heart like that.
Pyra finally making it to Bongo. Oh,
Jax got
Wait.
2, so Jax is. Wait, are we gonna see all 3? Jax.
Jax is on fire right now. That is true. We did not get an overworld for power.
Oh, I forgot about the Song of Time. Courage.
Jax, where are we going? Why?
What do you know that we don't know, Jax?
OT. But OT for uh-oh. Right. OT. Really? Power's in the bottom of the well?
Oh. God, I want to take Jax's brain and study it for silence. I want to know how the heck they figured out that you need to go get OT. Because if a piece is in the bottom of the well, that'll be insane.
Yeah, that is galaxy brain logic right there. We don't know what OOT is. Well,
we don't.
No, we do know. OOT is Requiem. Because we have everything else. Yeah, we know the Song of Storms is burning Cack. So we're getting Requiem. And if we're getting Requiem, that means that Jax thinks that there's something in Child Spirit. Because that's the only reason to get Requiem at this point.
Yeah. Oh, key lock.
Spirit key logic is spirit key. So spirit key logic doesn't exist, so it can't hurt me. That's true. I just want it to hurt me less.
Lens is on the power path, but if they need to cross to Lens should be power path. I guess it could have been at this point one of the other paths if that piece wasn't our 18-step piece. Which raises some questions. I don't know anymore.
Well, good news. At least OOT was real easy to get. Could have been locked behind longer dungeons. That's all I'm saying.
What's going to be insane about this is that there is a strong chance that Jax actually finds all 3 pieces before the 2 hours are up, which would be nuts. We have 8 minutes left.
Yeah, their execution has been like absolutely amazing for the entire run of this seed.
Oh,
It's
apparently,
okay, Dastar. I'm behind you. 100%.
How much do you like commentators suffering for our hubris? Hold on, Dassar, just start a poll. I personally love suffering. Yes,
Dassar.
Dassar.
Dastar, what Sadie is saying is that she is more than happy to race you as long as we plando a 0-0-0 piece Triforce hunt. Blitz hunt.
And something has to be on Wasteland, but you won't need it. Oh, Dassar's throwing down the gauntlet. 20 gift subs and all race Sadie in Triforce Blitz. You're on, Dassar.
All right, chat. You heard it here first. If we can get those gift subs in before we end the stream, we can get a Dastar and Sadie Blitz race.
I have never ever raced before, but you know, I would kill for some Triforce Blitz. I've wanted to start practicing, and actually Jax has offered to give me some tips and pointers and some tutoring. So you know, I feel pretty good about my odds.
Oh, we gotta stick to the Velma. We've got to stick to the 2-hour time limit. That's what makes it fun.
Yeah, well, that's why I'm excited about Triforce Blitz, is that after 2 hours, my misery is over. It doesn't matter how good or bad I do, it's done. Oh, do you, KLO? Okay, I know what I'm doing for practice this weekend.
We're halfway there, chat. Halfway there.
Ella's ready. Ella wants to see it. We just need 10 more subs and I'll do it. I'm ready. We need 5 more. Thank you, Natherian. Oh god, I'm getting kind of scared.
We're getting close, chat. 5 more. We can do. Come on, guys. We can find 5. We can get 5 in here, can't we? Oh, hey, look. That's 5 more.
Oh god, what have I done?
Congratulations, chat. Welcome in. We now get the joy of finding time to schedule Dastar versus Sadie in a Triforce Blitz comms restreamer race.
Oh, I'm so excited to tell. Oh geez. Oh. Why did I say yes?
I am 100% here for this. I am gonna have to lock in comms for this. This is gonna be glorious.
I hope you all are not expecting pro or even scrub strats from me. I will know some basics, but
I will roll 1,000 seeds in order to guarantee a 0-0-0 or a 0-1-0.
oh boy. Okay, there's something to look forward to in the future. And
nope,
we are
problem
down.
solved. Velvet has it.
No, I feel like we should roll a new one, you know? I want some fresh.
Well, if we can't roll a new one, we have a guaranteed one. Pyra making his way through GTG.
Down to our last 3 minutes. Jax just finished up child side.
Jax picking up their key to go ahead and get those mirror checks in, and with 2.5 minutes, I'm pretty sure. I think Jax has the execution to find this last piece.
Yeah, I mean, 2 minutes is tight. If it's deep spirit, like we might not see it, or if it's on twin. No, if it's on Twin Rova, we won't see it. So
Yeah, if it's on Twin Rova, we won't. But if it's in the, I'll call it I call it the backflip check because I don't know what it's actually called. But when you go into the two push mirror rooms,
yeah,
and you have to do the backflip to get the sun if like that room.
yes, I know which one you're talking about. I think. Oh no, now I'm thinking about it. It's like, wait, fuck.
Like, I don't remember what that one's called, but the thing where you do the thing in the place.
The place where the thing happens. It took me so long to learn the names of checks. I've only recently learned where Spirit Compass is. Because I don't remember vanilla.
Fun fact, I can do you one better. I never played the vanilla version of this game.
I can't imagine playing vanilla after playing randomizer. Because I'll be honest, I have tried to play vanilla since I started watching randomizer. I can't do it.
Oh no, it's I've got a friend of mine when I talk. That's when I started getting. I've played plenty of randomizers, and that's basically how I know the game. It's like I had a buddy of mine sit me down and we tried playing the vanilla version on my Switch, and I was kind of like, what am I supposed to do here? He goes, you need to do this, this, and this, and I'm like, but I don't have these. I don't have these items. It's like going through a Dodongo's Cavern for the first time as a child and having to do the whole thing was kind of wild for me. It's like, oh no, I just do this as an adult. Why am I doing this as a kid?
yeah. Dodongo's Cavern is a weird one in vanilla. I keep forgetting that there's an entire back section that we just never see because there's no reason to go back there in rando.
Oh yeah, no, like some of the things that the randomizer cuts out, like most of the time, depending on the what you're doing, like when they cut out all of the Ganon's trials.
Yeah.
It's like, anybody ever go into fire trial? No. And boom.
And there's our power. 30 seconds over. Congratulations, everyone. That was a race. I genuinely had no idea what was gonna happen until like those last 15 minutes.
Yep. That was a heck of a seed.
And with that win, Jax is going to move on. And unfortunately, this is the end of the line for Pyra. But incredible showing by both of our runners. Really, really good job.
Yeah, our runners were definitely gifted a rough one to kind of end this, for sure.
Yeah, this was a hard seed. The logic of this was really weird. Getting those songs was really weird. Seeing that tunic in the front half of Shadow was scary. And I'm actually impressed with both of our runners for not getting baited into fire because I would have.
Oh yeah, 100%. Like, coming down to like the last 20 or 30 minutes, haven't found anything in
Shadow Temple, like it could have been very easy to just like, you know what, I'm just gonna go check the first like 6 checks in fire.
And hey, Jax, GG's.
Welcome in. So pretty easy seed, right?
Oh yeah. Just do bongo for your long shot to get all your pieces across the wasteland. That's fine. I'm still
And
pissed
you know,
about
and
screwing that up because I haven't done that trick in so long. I'm like, God, if I screwed it up one last time, I would have gotten that piece in time.
we were all
I
sitting here very excitedly, like, oh yeah, cool. Just, check the last piece. There's gotta be something on Bongo. And then we watched you walk over to the wall and we just kind of were like, wait, why doesn't she shoot the bow? Oh, there's no bow. Oh,
Yeah, I
there's
don't have
no
a bow. Yeah, I
bow.
have no bow. My long shot's over there. I get to do one. I have one heart left. I'm doing hookshot bongo.
Yeah, and great job on that one cycle on Pongo. We were pretty afraid after you got hit that first time that it was gonna be over.
Yeah, the
Um,
same, but listen, I think my chat can verify I did actually sing supercalifragilistic to keep that going.
that's
That's fantastic.
incredible.
Yes. Also, like I knew that if I had lost that to checking Wasteland, it would have been an honor.
I would have been thrilled. I actually have a question because we were watching you all find that Goron tunic early in Shadow, and both me and Ronan were commenting that we were very impressed that neither you or Pyra got baited into checking fire. Were you ever tempted to go fire?
I saw that, I'm like, I don't believe that. I don't believe it for a second. And then towards the end, I'm like, God, did I just do all of Shadow for nothing? But I was praying for walking into Shadow that it had to be long shot because nothing else made sense.
Yeah, having the entirety of GTG and Spirit locked off in a seat with this high a step count seemed pretty suspicious.
Yeah, and I knew what my songs were. I knew my songs were the songs I didn't have were Epona's and Wreck. If Wreck had been at the Wasteland, then I would have been able to finish this, obviously. But yeah, that was a rough one.
Yeah, I think I think one of the best moments was probably once you got your strength 3 and it was like cool, let's just go into light trial real quick and get the 5 items that we know are in there since we've gotten all these hints to Phantom Gain, and then as you just one by one opening
All
each
this
of those
crap,
chests.
and then because I skipped that key up at the top because I didn't have a shield at the time, I was like, okay, now I have to go up and fight the Stalfos and come back.
And
Yeah,
then
there's
Yeah.
all this little chop that I had throughout the scene, like, and it just annoys you a teeny bit because it's like I was literally a key and a broom away from finishing the seed. So close.
Yeah, going yeah,
That's one of
the
the things I
climb.
think. That's one of the things I feel like good about when I'm playing Triforce Blitz. It's like I tend to play the seed rather than the opponent. Like the seed's my first opponent.
And to be fair, your opponent today woke up and chose lots of violence.
Oh gosh, this seed chose violence. It's true. But yeah, it was after last seed, Pyra and our first match was a 2-2-0. Which like that aka a seed long anxiety attack.
Yep, because when it can be everywhere, it could also be nowhere.
Ah, the bow was on there was a bow in DC, that makes more sense. Because the reason I stopped in DC and dropped for FW was like I realized like wait a second, this is what I did with Cola in my match against Cola the other day. I don't have. I'm looking for my hover boots. I know my hover boots are the pin that unlocks everything, and it has to be overworld. So that's why I dipped really fast because I knew I needed those hover boots. Yeah, Nat says I should probably set up for Chew Bridge now. Yeah, the setup I eventually landed on where I remembered the where I remember it's like, oh, I was standing a little bit too far to the left. The setup I was doing was right. I was just standing. You're looking for a texture on the wall, and I was standing to the left of it, and you stand to the right of it.
Yeah, that was an interesting setup. I've never seen that. That to be fair, it's very rare that you end up seeing chew strats in Shadow at all. So that was a very that was definitely pulling deep from within the bag of holding.
Yeah, I don't remember the last time I've done that. To be fair, like I have not played a ton of this thing doesn't show up a ton. I don't play a ton because job, but yeah, that was again. I wish I had nailed it, because if I nailed it, I would have had enough time to get that within time. I was one check away. Oh well. Slightly different key layout and spirit, and I would have finished it, but that's fine.
Well, it was also interesting. So one of the big route divergences you guys had was Pyra went and did Lake and back of Hyrule Field relatively early, and you kind of put off Open Grotto and Scrub Grotto back there. What was your when you did finally decide to go hit that Scrub Grotto and where you found those irons? What was kind of the thing that pushed you back in that direction?
I was full clearing all of my overworld. That was my third to last location in overworld. That was literally my third to last location in overworld where I found the hovers.
Yeah. Yeah, we were getting pretty nervous about those hovers.
Yeah, I mean, I basically was looking for them, and then I had that realization of like, oh, this is what happened when I was playing Cola, and I couldn't find the Din's Fire. I need to just go back and clear out my overworld, because that's where it is. And then just rock through Shadow, get my ass kicked by the chew setup, and I knew where they were. Like, when I was hunting for the hovers, I knew that the pieces were in GTG and Spirit. Like, there's no other way for it to count out.
Yeah, we were trying to make some predictions as to some really silly ways it might magically wind up in like the bottom of the well.
Yeah,
For
I mean, bottom of
dumb
the well,
reasons.
if the hammer was a... I see from the chat that the hammer was the item I did not look at on Phantom Ganon. Where I just
Well,
swapped straight in the blue warp because I was trying to rush my Requiem.
well, you got the
Yeah.
you got the magical bow in Wasteland, which made Sadie
Yes.
very happy.
Yes,
I was so happy.
Yes, my bow was in Wasteland. It was like, this isn't the bow I'm supposed to have, but I don't care. I think Sadie
It's like, this
happy,
is
and that's all
good
that matters.
timing.
Yeah, I didn't need it, but it did speed up a couple things there.
Yeah, so sometimes it's just nice to have the usefulness.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but oh well. Like, this seed was the exact opposite of the last seed we played. It was really hard. GG to Pyra for getting a piece. Because rocking out to like having to go back to Phantom Ganon. Water Rifle has ice arrows, and how's it foolish? Yeah, this was having to rock all the way back to Bongo, having to do chew setup to get to Bongo. Unless you did something very dumb, very convoluted with finding your bow. Yeah, that was rough.
You go first, Ronan. You go first.
Well, I was going to ask, what are you looking forward to most with your next opponent?
My next opponent is me, Doc, who is delightful. So we have to have a Dr. V Doctor series. We've had Dr. V Doctor races before. Now we have Dr. V Doctor series.
Ooh, yeah, that's gonna be a hype matchup. I'm really looking forward to it.
We're currently tied up on the Dr. V Doctor races, so I'm definitely out there to claim to fight for the good name of the PhDs in the room.
Whoop whoop. I'm not a PhD, but I am just excited for you.
Yeah, but Doc is delightful, and and I'm really looking forward to that match. And sorry, Doc, I'm coming for you.
Them's fighting words. If Doc Keeps is still in the crowd, you heard it here.
I mean,
nothing personal.
We're being fair.
I just want to get another shot at cola.
That's fair. I mean, there were a lot of fighting words being tossed around, Sadie, if I remember correctly.
There's fighting words being tossed around without me?
Yeah, so actually, Jax, I guess now is a good time to mention it. So Dastar threw some words around. I threw some words around. Dastar threw even more words around. And thanks to the lovely subs from our crowd,
Oh
me
dear.
and Dastar are going to have a Triforce Blitz race.
A blitz off, if you will.
Well, excellent. So, Sadie, do you want me to change size and coach you this time?
I was actually asking. So, yeah, I would love the advice and the coaching, Jax.
All right. Well, this is exciting. And we're here for it. Yeah, so you've already
Yeah.
received some coaching. You're fine. I routed 70 skulls for you, sir. I'm giving you
It's
enough.
my turn with jaxstronomy Dastar. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. I'm
This
terrified.
will be fun.
I'm utterly
This will be
terrified, but
so much
it's
fun.
gonna
It'll be
be
so much
fun.
fun. We'll get you one like
Um,
this.
yeah, it'll be like this, or maybe worse. Maybe we'll have a 20 seed match. It's gonna be incredible.
We'll plan to it so it has something important in both Wasteland and Toilet.
Yeah, and it's just like who can get to their check first.
Yeah, makes sense to me.
Um,
Oh, that's
but yeah,
wonderful.
so that is going to be in the future at some point. Likely we need to do a training montage over the summer, and we'll get some stuff for the fall.
That sounds fantastic, and I'm looking forward to it. Yeah,
Yeah.
so yeah, that was a rough so yeah, again, just can I just shout out Pyra again because he was having a really rough day with the seed yesterday and he really was a trooper coming into play today, even though he wasn't really feeling up to it. So thank you, Pyra. I really do like playing Triforce Blitz. So and this is why I signed up for it.
Yeah, and it was a great showing from both of you. So everyone, let's give one last shout out to our runners, both Pyra and jaxstronomy. That was a great showing. That was a really tough race. We didn't know what was going to happen until literally the last like 15, 20 minutes. It was awesome. Also, shout out to our trackers who did an awesome job today. Red, Shannock, and for the first time tracking, Rune, thank you so much. You are awesome. So proud of you. Welcome to the team. Shout out to our race monitor. Who else would it be but Gutrune? And shout out to our restreamer Velvet for being absolutely awesome and letting this match happen. Letting me and Dastar yell at each other and get people to donate subs so that we can race. Because that wouldn't have happened if Velvet hadn't been restreaming. And shout out to my co-commentator Ronan. This was wonderful to commentate with you today.
And of course, a big shout out to my favorite co-coms and one of the best in the business at SadieSweet. Everybody, please give her a like and follow.